introduce the show. This is Late Nights in East Los. We are Paranoise from down the street, and we have a couple of songs, and we shall just play them. Get to the point. Thank you for having us, Kuzma and Daniel.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
You're on.
Should we all be on one side?
You're good.
Closer, maybe?
It has begun.
It has begun. And we are back. Another consecutive week. Yes, episode 37 for Late Nights in Islos. Thanks for tuning back in. We are honored and happy to have we have the pleasure of hosting tonight PARANOISE straight out of East LA, and apparently some other ex-students of Mr. Guzman over there. I wasn't aware that this is...
Not till August 13th.
Not till August 13th. All right. Well, as you guys know, Daniel Guzman of the Modpots is our director. So shout out to the Modpots for their awesome music, and special shout out to our director, Daniel Guzman, for being a part of Late Nights in Islos. PARANOISE, once again, thanks for that awesome music. I really enjoyed it. Very unique sound, very eclectic, but still kind of like within the parameters of what rock, alternative rock, punk is, right? And I think you incorporate all those elements very, very nicely. I know that I'll just I like to talk. What do you want me to do? This is my show. So I'll let them introduce themselves. Please tell us a little bit about PARANOISE.
I'm Sonia.
I'm Liam.
And I'm James. And we're Paranoid.
We're
Yeah.
PARANOISE.
We're Paranoise. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to know?
Everything. I mean, the name PARANOISE. So I was in my head. You know, sometimes I play with the band's names in my head, and I was like, well, it could be like paranoia. It could be PARANOISE, which means around sound too, right? And so, but then when I went to your Instagram and I was going over it, you labeled yourself as Mutant Punk, which I was a little confused as to what that might be, but I thought that it'd be
Still not
because
sure
you
Yeah.
incorporate these visual elements into your show, right? Which is
That's correct.
usually something that not all the punk bands do.
Yeah.
And then and that was like, maybe it's something about the style that they play, but back there I was not being able to look at the performance. I was just sharing the video. But the sound, like I said, you know, I picked up all these elements that come very nicely together, and you guys really create something different here. How long have you guys been playing?
A little over a year.
Really?
Yeah, we started in June.
June of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why the name? I mean, I already said what
It's
I had to say, but
It's a song. It's from a song.
from a song.
A song by the OCs on the album Orc. Excellent album. Listen to it. Check it out. And yeah, it's just, you know, paranoid,
Yeah, it's
noise. I like
combination.
noise rock a little bit, you know.
Black Sabbath.
What?
Right. Black
Paranoid, yeah,
Paranoid.
paranoid.
It's a combination of paranoid and noise put
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah.
Paranoise.
Yeah,
For all the
I was playing with that
scholars
one
out
too.
there.
Yes.
And how did your concept begin? What is it that created PARANOISE?
Well, I'm really into like garage rock and noise rock and psychedelic rock, and I played with a lot of bands, and I just like, you know, making a lot of noise, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, I'm more influenced by the like late 70s, early 80s punk, so like the Germs, Black Flag, X, the Bags, those type of bands. That's what really influences my drumming. And then before that, I was really into metal, so that's why I had
Yeah, we're all into metal.
these fast
Death metal,
fills.
thrash metal, black metal, that's like in our blood, mostly.
It's in our genes.
It's
yeah,
in our
we're born with
genes.
it.
We're born with
Pretty
it.
much,
So
yeah.
no matter what we make, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear some thrash, black, something in there.
So this is your band, and then you incorporate them afterwards, or was it like a high school thing?
Yeah, it was
happening
just-
already.
I wanted to like, I started out as a two-piece with some other guy, and wanted to like some White Stripes, Black
Rest in
Keys kind of
peace.
sounding stuff. And he's not dead. He just quit for reasons unknown.
He's dead too.
And I played drums and sang, and he played guitar. And then slowly I decided, she's my girlfriend, so she plays music, and she was in a band.
And
And
he's
that-
like, I need a bass
I need a-
player. And I was like, I play bass. Let me play. Let me
Yeah.
play.
Oh, okay, cool.
And which worked because, you know,
I just wanna play.
Yeah, the rest of us insisted that
Yeah.
we find a bass player immediately, and she was our number
I
one
was
pick.
there.
And this
Yeah.
is Mr. James, who went to high school with him.
Yeah,
He's played in many bands also.
that's correct. I mean, I've been playing with this guy for a long time, and up until now, I think the band that we're currently that we've currently created is probably my favorite out of all the bands I've been.
Artist running.
Oh, you know, my sweat is like.
Yeah.
So it's
running
so
down my
hot. It's like
eyes.
100 degrees.
It gets steamy
Imagine
with all
playing
that
behind
movement.
That's how you know it's California.
It is. Someone said that that's the dramatic of the visuals for the video. So I'll take that. And
Oh,
sweat.
It works.
Yeah. Where was your last show?
We just played in a parking lot of a burger joint
in Moreno Valley.
in Moreno Valley.
Far as fuck.
Yeah.
Far. We have to travel a lot to get people that actually want to listen to us.
Yeah.
There's not much in this area. So, East LA, if you are a kid and you want to pick up a guitar and play something that's not
Or drums.
indie music
Or
or
surf music.
hardcore punk or metal, and you want to
Ska.
Yeah.
or ska, you want to play something that's not what everybody wants to play, just do it. Just do it. We are in a drought of creative music in this area, and we need more. Because we and other bands, Lady and Arrow, Earringers, we all have to travel out to Moreno Valley and
Riverside.
Riverside to find the scene that wants to
Really?
hear us. Because over here there's a scene, but it's like, because I'm in a death metal band, and we play locally over here. But there's like, mostly the scene around here just wants either ska or death metal or like hardcore punk. Which is cool, but it's kind of hard to find a place around here when you're not any of those.
Yeah, because we don't fit in.
Yeah, we don't
those
fit in.
categories.
Yeah.
So we actually get a lot of offers of both indie shows and metal shows out there, which is pretty awesome. You meet a lot of people, a lot of interesting people of all ages out there, and we need something like that in this area.
Maybe the East Los Angeles Punk Syndicate needs to happen and then find you guys gigs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's not just, it needs to be more creative kinds of bands, because there's a lot of bands out there, but
Well, I mean, and I think that we've had a lot of punk bands here,
Mhm.
and I know that there is a punk scene here in East LA, so maybe it's not a lack of more unique music like yours that, you know, goes outside of the stereotypes. It's maybe more a lack of yeah, it's a lack of scene, you know, because obviously bands there are, but you guys have to travel outside of East LA for you to actually be able to book shows, which is kind of funny, because figuring there's so many punk players,
it's super
you would
ironic.
think that there's a lot of followers for the music.
Yeah.
It's super
And
ironic.
that's funny. Well, producers, friends who are watching our show, make sure that you are theming your next show punk. It would be awesome. I know there's a lot of people watching, and you listen to them. It was really great. I enjoyed the music. Who are some of the major influences? Oh, well, you just mentioned the major influences. I take that back.
Maybe like the local bands that we're probably into. Yeah, most of them are not even from here. Yeah, because we play over there, like in Pomona and Moreno Valley and places like that, and that's where we find those bands. And we end up staying after our set, and they so happen to be like really, really good sounding. So bands like, what is it, like Los Alamos?
Los Alamos,
TV
Puppet Pals.
I like Foolish Johns. Foolish Johns
is cool.
Yeah.
Gala Nights.
Cosmic
They always
King.
hook us up with shows.
Gala Nights, those good shows,
Yeah.
great shows. Happy and Hemet,
The Slop.
The Slop.
Sick.
A lot of
Sick as
bands, a lot of bands
Yeah.
out there. Archero, you guys are getting big, you know,
Yeah, good for you guys.
bands out there. And over here, you know, you got Prism,
Oh,
We
have
a
a collective of bands that we went to high school with, that we
Yeah.
play with. Earringers, Prism, Lady and Arrow, all under the guise of Mr. Guzman.
Not till August 13th.
Oh, yeah. Daniel.
Daniel Guzman.
We are talking about you. Well, you said that your shows are in Inland Empire, so where's your next show in Inland Empire?
We have a show in Pomona at the DBA, hosted by Scatterbrain
On the 16th.
on the 16th.
Yeah.
Pomona at DBA.
We're pretty much booked every weekend for this month.
Yeah, we recently had like a gig drought where we weren't really getting anything, and then out of nowhere we have like 10 shows lined up. It kind of happens like that.
Yeah,
So-
same here.
Yeah.
I have a band lined up for the next month, thankfully. And
Oh,
so
okay,
then
cool.
sometimes we go on droughts and it's hard to find performers. By the way, a shout out to Sweet Peel who were here
Yeah,
last
Sweet
week.
Pill.
Oh, we just played
played
with
with
them
Sweet
too.
Pill.
Yeah.
Los Alamos do a show in Sweet Pill Open, and they kill all the time.
Yeah, the drummer let me borrow his bass.
The drummer
so-
killing it, guitarist
Thanks
killing
for
it, bassist.
They are really
singer
good. I
killing it.
enjoyed their playing last week, and you can watch last week's video on our Facebook Live. Actually, well, it's Facebook videos. The LateNightSneezels.com takes you to our video tab. If we are live, you will see the live icon on red next to the video tab. If we're not live, you can click on any of the videos and watch past performances of amazing local bands like PARANOISE.
Like us.
So, what area, what neighborhood? Let's see.
City Terrace.
El Sereno.
Okay, north.
East LA.
It's
I'm
like
born and
this
raised,
side.
Yeah. I was born in a hospital that no longer exists.
Oh, which
Yeah,
one?
you know the
Santa Marta.
Santa Marta. Yeah, that's where I was born.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
There. I was not born in Italy, but I'm familiar with different, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm from El Sereno. I'm like, okay, and like if they say East LA, that means that it's 90063 and 90022, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. Who are some of the local bands that you would like to work with, aside from obviously the ones that you just mentioned, or like some larger band or like some bigger bands?
Oh,
Bigger bands.
OCs.
OC's King Gizzard.
Ty Segall.
yeah.
I mean, he
Nah.
could
Yeah,
put
sure,
out
Ty
there,
Segall.
yeah.
Fuzz released an album already. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
come on, guys.
And
Definitely Fuzz. Yeah.
Mhm.
If they ever
Yeah.
come back.
They're gonna record, I think, this month.
Who?
Hopefully.
Sounds good.
oh, yeah, sure.
Fuzz. Well, that's what they said.
Do you have any recordings? Do you have any?
We are currently working on a demo with
That would
my father's buddy Andrew, cool guy. Played drums in Fear for a while. And we have about 8 songs on there. But I'm also considering, because we have like a few other original songs, or self-recording my own on the side. And yeah, we have releases lined up. We have a few really shoddy demos up.
Yeah.
Really shoddy, self-mixed.
Homemade, Yeah.
But you get an idea of how we sound like. And
Yeah.
hopefully that
It's,
appeals to people.
Put something out.
Yeah.
Who does the bulk of the composing and arranging? Everything together, and then you guys
Mastermind.
you add your flavor once he gives you the.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Also, you obviously you are classically trained.
Classical, like
Or yeah.
No, he
What's your
can't.
music
No.
background? Are you like self-taught?
I can't read.
That you
Um,
just expounded.
I hate reading music. I think it's a sham. Just start playing music.
Reading music's cool, guys. I can only read the.
I started playing Black Sabbath, Beatles, Led Zeppelin. That's what got me. And
By ear.
yeah,
Yeah, everything by ear.
everything.
The only thing I've ever had to read music for was piano. That was pretty much
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But drums, yeah, everything's by ear.
What do you mean piano? You took piano lessons?
I took a piano class, but most of the stuff I learned is just out the window now. I forgot it completely. I know, C scale and chord and stuff like that, but that's about it.
How long have you been playing, James?
How very punk of you.
Very punk. Yeah.
When did you learn how to play?
When?
Yeah.
I used to go to a Catholic school, and they needed a drummer when I was, I think, 13 or 14. I didn't know how to play drums, but I was like, you know what? I'll be the drummer even though I don't know how to play shit.
I'll be the drummer boy.
Yeah. Forget the instructor's name, but he's like, do the paradiddle. He's like, da-ka-digga-da-ka-da. Like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but I'll learn them. So like, I would lay in my bed and I'll just practice the paradiddles, singles, doubles, and stuff like that. And then eventually, I convinced my dad to get me a drum kit, the same kit that I have right here standing.
Oh really? It's pretty nice, by the way. I like the
It's a very
logo,
cheap kit, by the way, too. But I've worked with it
Those
pretty
will
much all
work.
my life. Yeah.
Those will work. We got a little dent there happening that is not shown on the camera, but it looks like it's been heavily used.
Yes, that's our gig. That's our gig kit.
Hey, that's awesome. I was I think that is kind of like part of the punk scene, and I wanted to ask, now that we're touching into that, about your little add-ons here. Are you what is it? What are you trying to portray, represent, perform?
Chaos, organized chaos. That's what I want. So the lights make something fun,
Opposite of entropy.
I noticed I've been to a lot of shows, and the funnest bands are the ones that try to look cool. You know what I mean? More people need to dress up.
Yeah.
Like bands like The Locust, Devo. Who else? any band.
Mhm.
Meat Bodies.
Because the crowd sees that you're really into
Yeah.
the music that you're putting out, and if you're into it, then they're most likely going to be into it too. But if
Yeah.
you're just standing there, stiff, static, not really moving at all, it's kind of boring. Yeah, it just makes me want to look at something else. Makes me want to pull out my phone, pretty much. Yeah, I don't like
Mhm.
bands that do that.
Self-taught too?
No, I learned in an after-school program.
I think after
in
school
middle
program.
school. Yeah.
Public school?
Belvedere.
Oh.
Carlos was my teacher.
My
If he
brother.
sees this.
My brother went to Belvedere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's let me see, I'm 2000 and he was 2004. Like he was like 2001, I guess.
I think that's when she was born.
No.
Are you calling me a Google?
I was
I am.
like 3 years old. Okay, I think.
I was like 4, I think.
I wasn't born. I'm
I
6.
was like, got it.
Who are dang it, I had a really good question right now. So let's see, we talked about past shows, we have future shows, we have recordings. I want to go to the what is it called, the release, of course, of your first CD, and I want a shirt. By the way, if you come to the show, you better bring me a shirt. I'm a size large, and I promise I'll wear it next show.
You can't
Next
afford it.
episode.
We made our last. I made shirts for his last band, DIY. I'll make you one. And we make them.
Silk screening. The homie from Cultivarte Studios, if you follow them on Instagram, he has a silk screen printing
Okay.
workshop happening every so often, and he will. Well, you would have to talk to them, but they,
Okay.
he has a printing and everything.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I like to make.
To do it
ours, so
yourself.
We're very
Okay.
DIY.
DIY or die.
DIY.
It's the only way to go.
Mm.
I think that's punk. We had a punk band here with a washing board, and that was
Really?
their-
No way.
For real?
Yeah.
That's old
Were you
school.
here for that, Daniel? No.
So,
Chencho?
I think so.
Yeah, their name is Chencho, and that's what they had. They had a washing board. That was their weirdo.
That was their percussion, right?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
tight. It was really awesome. What inspires your music? Chaos.
Chaos.
And
Boredom.
let's get that
Boredom.
baby closer here, because we gotta talk about that.
Boredom.
Horror, sci-fi. He wants the
Oh, the mic.
microphone.
Oh, the microphone. This was purchased by my good friend Jared Amaro.
For Jared.
Follow him on
It's back
Instagram
there.
as Fuzz War. He's the guy. That's why he's clapping over there. eBay.
One clap.
It's eBay.
Wait, so you bought it like this already, or you modified
Yeah,
it?
it was
yourself?
pre-made like that. You got it on eBay.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Inspired by all the garage rock bands I like. Crazy, like, there's this band called Clips.
And it comes with a you
John
said it comes
Dwyer.
with a
Yeah, well, just distorted vocals in general.
distorted vocals.
Oh, the top, I think.
Oh, it's a top one. Oh, I like it. It sounds kind of like I'm far away, but with an echo.
There's this band called Flight.
This is heavy.
This band called Useless Eaters, Flight, Six Finger Satellite, Lo-Fi, Crazy Noise, Garagey bands. And that's kind of what I'm going for. A little bit of psychedelic. Because there's a lot of freedom in... there's more punk. I want to be garage rock. And like a little bit of noise rock, psychedelic. And I think there's a lot of freedom in what you can do with all that. As opposed to sticking to one specific genre. Like, a lot of people don't get that. Like, one time I was playing in some doom metal band, like Candlemass, Black Sabbath, and I was trying to tell him I have this other band going on, and it's like, I want to put like a little bit of punk, a little bit of indie, a little bit of garage, and he's like, why don't you just do one, man? And I was like, fuck you, man.
They want to be formulaic.
Yeah, formulate. Just
Derivative.
think outside the box as much as you can. That's pretty much what drives me.
It sounds to me like you have like the inner workings of an artist, which all musicians are artists, but there's just people that have that capacity of thinking outside the box rather than just learning the set rules and kind of like falling
Yeah,
into
there's
the box.
a lot of rules in the metal and punk scene. A lot of rules. A lot of rules.
And there's not supposed to be any, right?
Yeah, that's the ironic thing. It's not supposed to be any, but there's a ton of rules. especially in metal, but it's still fun. You know.
Watch that. Fuck.
Alrighty. Well,
Take
any
notes.
comments by our audience on the... Maybe I can check on my phone too.
Millie Rock.
Who?
Does that mean anything to you?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Millie?
Who are you, Millie?
No, it's
Find out.
it's Aaron posting that.
Oh,
Aaron who?
Aaron
Chavez.
Chavez.
Who?
In Arrow.
Oh,
Never heard.
I didn't know his last.
I think he's been on this show.
What show? This show?
This
I don't
This
even
is
know
a
who the
show?
guy
It's
is.
tight. It's tight.
Aaron Chavez?
You know, son of Cesar Chavez. Yeah.
Is he related?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
I
they're all
don't
related.
know
They're
any
all
Aarons.
related.
Never met one. Never wanted.
Shout out to our number one fan, Cindy Lamb. Uncle Red always watching, always leaving comments, always supporting the show. So that's greatly appreciated. Thanks again. And I'm just going to remind you that we're going to be back next week for sure. Let me tell you the band that we have next week, actually, so that you are picked. Here in my trusty numbers, because I have Apple and I don't use Excel. We have In Dream Spirit, who was recently featured at the East Los Angeles Art Walk, and he plays this really cool, amazing acoustic guitar with background and vocals, and you are going to be amazing. And that's going to be at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via Late Nights in Islos. LateNightsInIslos.com takes you to our Facebook page. Watch live, reduce at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If the live icon is on, go watch us, say hi, and if we are not live, make sure that you watch past videos, comment, tag, share. That's how we help create this space for local musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, scene makers, crafter, anybody that wants to come and be featured on our show. Please send us a message via any of our social media, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Are you guys on YouTube?
We have a live set on YouTube.
Just one
Oh,
video.
yeah, just
With one video.
So is it like Paranoise at YouTube?
No, it's actually just look up Paranoise live at Gala Nights 2019 or something like that. Riverside, live in Riverside.
And your social media on Instagram is Paranoise_Paranoise.
Paranoise
That's
underscore.
correct.
And then Facebook is just Paranoise.
Yes.
And I tagged you like 1,000,000 times on all the group shares that you need. And shout outs to Latinos in Brunswick and Latinos in Estocolmo. And I shared also to the Latinos in New York group. So hopefully we have people watching there and enjoying. And then if you have any questions, let us know. I'll be happy to answer them afterwards. I'm going to zip it, and I'm going to let you enjoy some more music by Paranoise. And we'll see you again next week. We are Late Nights in Islos, coming straight out of East LA at Quetzal Boutique in a little pop-up studio, all DIY project for your entertainment. See you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
sir.
for being
Thank
here.
you.
Take it away.
This song is called Hidden Passage. last song. Thank you for having us late nights in East Los. And beautiful store. And yeah, thank you. We are Paranoid.